No sound, Sean.
And there we go. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, everybody, to Rocky Creek Ranch. Welcome to episode 1621 here on the Daily Awakening Conversation. Today's been a fascinating morning. It's been an incredible morning, love-filled morning. We have a new rooster. For those of you that may be following the antics here at the ranch, we call him Red. He's a Rhode Island Red, and we're hoping that his cock-a-doodle-doo is a little bit better than he's just getting warmed up. Maybe he's just getting practiced because it seems like it ends halfway through. Well, let's have a conversation about finishing up 2023 so that we can have the best 2024 ever. Right? We need to start working backwards. We need to start working backwards. And in this backwards work, one of the things we do, it's called reverse engineering. Anybody ever hear of reverse engineering? That's what we're going to be doing here over the course of the next couple of weeks. And in that reverse engineering, what we want to do is we want to really define and get clear, right? Clarity brings joy and brings happiness. So my question to you is today, 12 months from now, right? This is now 2024. Can you tell me where you're at? So a couple of things you're going to see over the course of the next few weeks as I prepare for the October event, the live event here at Rocky Creek Ranch, October 12th through the 15th. The focus for the 12th through the 15th is to develop the 2024 plan. We're going to spend 3 days, 3 intense days on you lining out that. I don't know that you'll have it down to every breath, but you'll have it down to every day and almost every hour. If you could get more focused, if you could literally, I'm not saying you got to work 18 hours a day. I'm saying in the hours that you work, you're going to be doing a lot deeper work. You're going to be doing a lot more focused work, a lot of work that produces the income that you want. That's the conversation we're going to be having, because for those of you that decide that you want to make 2024 your best year ever, we're actually starting the event in 2 weeks. The event starts in 2 weeks. For those of you that decide to become a part of the Rocky Creek Ranch DMP 2024 plan, the event starts in 2 weeks. Now, why would I do this? Well, because I want to see people who are ready to make a decision, who, listen, it doesn't take a lot of information for you to decide you've had enough. Does that make sense? It doesn't take a lot of information for you to decide you've had enough. So pricing and all of that stuff, here's what I know. It'll be a lot less than a week's worth of income that you have planned for your 2024 program. Does that make sense? So we'll talk more about that. So what does this require? What is a definite major purpose? We hear about it. We talk about it. We understand that Wallace D. Wattles has spoken about it. Napoleon Hill is kind of the archetype of it. Couple of things that it's going to require. It's going to require something definite in your life. And so there's the DCM, the DMP, the DCM, definite chief aim, DCA, the definite chief aim. It's been called a variety of things. My question to you is that in January, how many of you set goals in January of this year, right? 2023, 2022 last year, just November, December, you're starting to set goals. Is this where you wanted to be? Is this where you wanted to be? Is this August 21st? Are you on track? Now, I'm not asking you to reply because I know the answer, because statistically, the answers are the same, right? 98% of the people have fallen short of where they are. Well, Sean, you don't know this and you didn't know that. And I went through this challenge and I had that challenge. I get it. Would you like to compare notes? Would you like to compare notes? And the reason I say that is because we've all had issues. We've all had challenges. We've all had opportunities to have more of what we want and opportunities to have less of what we want. And we've got to make a decision. Here's what I know. Here's what I can imagine. right? Next year, 2024. Is 2024 an election year? Drop an E in the chat. I'm pretty sure it's an election year. This tells you how wired in I am to all of the things going on in my world. So the conversation is that things kind of get stirred up during an election year. Things kind of get a little bit wonky during an election year. All of that being said, you've still got to take care of your bills. You still got to take care of your stuff. You still got to take care of all of the things that are yours. And there's really no economy out there. Let me say that again. There's really no economy out there. There's only your economy. So if that's the case, then let's make sure that your economy for 2024 is locked in, is in place, in tune and focused. So first thing I'm going to ask you for right now, first thing I'm going to ask you to do is right now is write down your number. 12 months from now, it's a 12-month calendar. Don't change it. It's August 21st, everybody, so that we're all on the same page. Because here's the thing, if we're all on the same page of the date of delivery, does this make sense? The date of delivery, we all have in the back of our mind, all of this working together. See, Andrew Carnegie, who probably the richest man ever, made steel, the steel magnet, didn't know the first thing about making steel or metallurgy. What he did was when asked, why is it that you should be the one being rewarded for something you do not know how to make? He said, because I understand the process of getting people to work in perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. And that's going to be my focus for those of you coming to the ranch, is to find whoever it is, a small group, probably going to be a small group of individuals to work in perfect harmony. And that's what all of the classes and the trainings prior to the event, because one of the things, if you've hung around me at all, you realize the event is not the event. The event is an accumulation of previous events that allow that to be the culmination of the beginning process. Most people, when they go to an event, is they make the event, and therefore they haven't even started at the event. Does that make sense? It may seem a little odd. It may seem a little offbeat, but I'll explain all of that to you as we go through the process. So what's your number? What's your number? What's your number? What number would surprise you? What number needs to stretch you? What number? Let me ask this. Let me ask a bigger question. What would be in a year, based upon a lot of you are in the powerful profession of network marketing, what would be the crazy number? What would be the crazy number that you've heard people create in a year? Now, I'm not talking about people who brought over massive groups and, they went to the top of the charts in the first week. I'm talking about people who kind of got after it. They decided that enough is enough. And, they didn't divorce their family and wind up becoming solely this machine of entrepreneurialism. They put some serious effort in, and they used some of the ideas. They were what we would normally call, traditionally call, happily call, ignorance on fuego, ignorance on fire. What would be a number? What would be a wild number that might be bigger than your goal? I hope it's bigger than your goal. So this wild number that you have, and this number that you put out. So this idea is, how does this all happen? So what's going to happen over the course of the training events leading up to the event is, and listen, you may or may not, some of you may not be able because of scheduling. You can still be a part of the event, and it'll be, I don't know if this is going to be the case yet, but I'll wind up maybe live streaming it for those of you that can't be in attendance. It's a little different experience, I get it, but I'll probably have it live streamed so that you can still participate, because I'm sure it's going to be probably less than a dozen folks. So now all of a sudden we start to work this backwards. What if all of a sudden we worked it backwards? What if all of a sudden we created a set of mantras for your mission? What if all of a sudden we were able to wire into your brain the exact things that are necessary to make all of that happen. For those of you that have worked with me, those of you that have had conversations with me, you've seen us being able to do some pretty powerful things inside of an hour, inside of a day, inside of a week. Imagine if you literally spent the next 6-7 weeks, 50 days, working on your plan so that you could know without a shadow of a doubt, regardless of what the economy does, you could hit your targets. That's the conversation we're going to have. That's the focus we're going to be putting in to this live event coming up in October here at the ranch. So that being said, what's your word for the day? What's your word for the day? Imagine you woke up today and you could only operate in the essence of this particular word. I see one word popped up, determine. So here's the challenge and the opportunity with determine. Determine also requires you to imbue that, to transfer that to everybody you meet. Ease is another word. You need to transfer that to everybody you meet. What I mean by that, faith, you need to transfer that to everybody you meet. And what this requires, because you want people who are operating in harmony along with you. And if you interrupt your day with individuals, it would serve you well that they are on the same vibratory plane as you. Kind of different way to look at things, isn't it? See, one of my default words, my fallback words is always happy. So when I come across people, in order for me to stay in happiness, I will do my best to let them unlock the happiness code inside their body so that they can have more of what they want. Some days it's discipline, some days it's focused. Well, how do I do that if I'm just talking to somebody in customer service? Well, this is about learning, what does it mean? What is the echo effect of your word? See, part of going through the conversation, part of going through the live event, October 12th through the 15th, here at Rocky Creek Ranch, is for you to fully understand that every word you have and every word you use, because that's two different things. Every word you have and every word you use builds your future. And if you're going to focus on a particular word, if you're going to set at your core a particular word, that particular word then drives everything about you. But what happens is that when we have a day where we go, nothing seemed to go right, it's because the word, maybe you didn't have a word for the day, but the word you chose, the energy you chose, the frequency you desired, kept getting bombarded by a different frequency, and you kept getting knocked off your channel. Does that make sense? This is why when you have your DMP, or your definite chief aim, your definite major purpose, you can't get knocked off your channel. You become one of those roller coasters at Cedar Point or Disney World or wherever it is, where the wheels literally lock around a bar, and there's wheels on top and there's wheels on bottom. And if the car inverts, it can't fall off. How many times has your plan inverted and the plan didn't fall off, your plan didn't fail, you weren't buckled in. You weren't buckled in and you got tossed from your dreams. This making sense? So that's the conversation we're going to have. Those are the things that we're going to be working on in the next 2 weeks as we start the program, the pre-launch, some of you may have been around for the 12-week program. That literally changed the trajectory of people's events and people's business models. We went through it live, and in the 12 weeks, it was a pretty powerful course. This is going to be the DMP leading up to the live event, where we are going to then wire it in your body. The live event is going to wire it in your body at a cellular level through motion and action and meditation and confrontation, right? We're going to test the system, right? All right. Well, there you go. There's an episode 1621 in the books. I appreciate you so very, very much. I'm going to go have a conversation with the live VIPs in the Dangerous Consciousness community. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next live event, October 12th through the 15th.